Now here is a difficult game to describe without somebody actually trying it themselves. VR as it is very difficult to describe to somebody who hasn't tried it. I find even describing what the Oculus Rift is like is difficult to explain to somebody who's used to Gear VR, because cell phones just can't do the level of tracking, the level of graphics, the level of interactiveness, because everything's... I can go on, but let's focus on Rockband VR, which is as difficult as VR is to explain, is doubly as difficult to explain, because they've completely changed what... Well, let's put it... They've completely changed how the rhythm genre and the rock band franchise, and that includes anything Guitar Hero has ever done, they've completely changed how that works. And I'm going to try to run through this as quickly as possible. As you can see, I'm in a 3D environment. This is what menus have become, by the way. There's no longer a list of things and you go up and down and hit a button. You teleport to different sections, and this corresponds to little sub-menus. And from here you look at things and they light up, and then you can select them. Quite nice. As you can see, my guitar is being tracked using Oculus Touch controller here on the headstock of the... There we go. Headstock of the guitar. Fixed there with a little bracket that you get together with. Actually, the touch when you buy it, you don't get it with a Rock Band guitar. This is just a standard Rock Band guitar for a standard Rock Band game. You get this little bracket with the touch, you slide the touch in there, wrap it around, as you can see. Oh, this is difficult. Wrap it around the headstock like that, put the lanyard around the headstock so that it doesn't drop. Where's that? Over there. Okay, and you're all set. Your guitar gets tracked. If I look through my nose gap, there's a little gap here so that I can observe the real world and not trip over things. If I just turn my eyeball down, if I look forward, I see the VR world. If I look down, I see little bits of the real world. So I can actually one-to-one compare where the guitar is in VR versus where it is in my actual hand, and I can tell you it's damn accurate. It's maybe a millimeter off, maybe 2 millimeters max, which basically means if I'm not paying attention to it, it's like exactly where I'm holding it. It's like seeing the guitar becomes such a seamless thing, you don't actually realize you're looking at the fake one instead of looking at the real one. Maybe if you're paying attention you'd notice that. Cool, so let's go over here. We're just going to play a quick thing. This thing has a campaign. It's a non-chronological campaign. You jump around throughout the career of this band. Each little mission is a... let's say a concert, a show that you do in the differing venues. There's a set list, 4 or 5 songs, well, let's say 3 to 5 songs, I guess, that you play. The audience interacts with the various band members, their scripted moments, that kind of thing. Not the longest of campaigns, but good enough that it's enjoyable and yeah, you feel like you haven't completely wasted your money. Cool, so like I say, the core game mechanic is completely changed. We'll see that in a bit when I fire it up. It's not the old thing of standing here looking dead focused on one point because I'm trying to see notes coming my way and trying to follow those notes, and you end up standing like this. And Rock Band in the past have tried to convince people to move around a bit by having this what do they call it, overdrive mode, I think, where you have to do this and people end up hitting the notes, doing this, carrying on. This is a bit more involved. The game actually, because it can monitor what your head is doing and what your body is doing, you can enter overdrive mode by doing this or going on your knees. You can extend to the overdrive mode by bopping your head in time with the music while you're playing, or you can play the guitar with your teeth. I actually just emulate it by putting my hand here and doing this because I'm not putting my my guitar in my mouth, which is difficult with this on it anyway. Or you can jump. You can extend the mode by jumping. All kinds of things you can do in the overdrive mode for extra points, but it basically amounts to being cool on stage and doing a show. You can go on your knees, be playing. That will also, I think, put you in overdrive mode. I think you can look to the sky. That will put you into overdrive mode. A bunch of stuff. Obviously, overdrive mode you can only enable once you've built up a certain bonus bar, and which you build up by doing the right combinations of chords, that kind of thing. So I'm going to go down here to Heaven Knows by the Pretty Reckless, simply because it's a very simple song and not very long, so I can demonstrate a couple of things and not take up all your time. I'm going to play it in just the medium mode. Quickly, in medium mode, just holding basic chords. At certain points it will tell you which chords to hold. At other points you can choose which chords you want to hold to kind of make the music your own and strum with. There's a virtuoso mode, virtuoso combos and chord following, so you have to hold various chords and move up and down the neck as the note in the music changes every time. Like the chord in real life would change on the guitar, you have to change it on this as well, but there are indicators showing you when you should do that, and sometimes those are very evenly, well, let's say very quickly spaced, so you have to shift up and down pretty quickly, and that I would say would be like hard mode in classic Rock Band, and that is actually quite a difficult mode to play. Of course, there's a higher mode, which is Monster, which is the same as Virtuoso, but with no cues. There's no UI showing you what you need to do. You need to know the song off the top of your head and or improvise really well to be able to play through the whole song with no help, nothing showing you what you're supposed to do. You just do it all off the top of your head, which I think would be super immersive. I haven't tried it myself, but how immersive would that be? Just standing in front of an audience, nothing to help you, nothing to guide you, and you have to play a song. I think lacking the words to describe to you what it feels like standing on a virtual stage playing to a virtual crowd is not the easiest thing in the world to explain, but it is very compelling and it is very immersive. You'll see the band people talking to the crowd here, but because it's just a quick game, it's just very generic type of stuff. In the campaign it's a bit more specialized and scripted and that kind of thing. While we're waiting, we can jam, we can bend modes even while we're playing a song by doing this. Obviously all the old goodies still work. I have a virtual microphone and I can actually talk to it. 1, 2, 3. I need to look at the drum now. I've got some foot pedals here I can use to change the sound of the guitar. I'm not super crazy about doing that, but it does work. So I told him to start the song. So let's go. Very simple song. The controller does vibrate to tell me when certain key chords are coming up, like that chord coming up there highlighted in blue. I can riff on this a bit. So nothing told me I could do that, but I can change however I wish, really. I can ignore what they tell me there to do. It won't throw me out. I just won't get as high a score. I'm currently picking 16ths. You can go down to 8. Or 4ths. Or back to up to 16th. This is the kind of thing, that kind of shifting is what you would have to do in virtuoso mode. You'd have to do it, whereas here it's optional. I'm trying to keep it pretty still here so that you don't get sick while watching me. Usually I'd be jamming. But let's rather keep it still for you. simultaneous band head chord that we have to follow, especially if we want our bonuses. We'll see if we can do a little jam session with this guy in a moment when he stops singing. They will respond to me, and if they're not busy singing, you can interact with them a bit. Here comes a solo. Can tap. Didn't get the chance for that rock out with my bandmate here, but that's how it goes. Hopefully that wasn't too shaky. I kinda did get a bit lost there. Very cool game, very immersive, really does put you in the game. You get your star rating, obviously we weren't trying too hard there. And yeah, that's it. So in the interest of brevity, I'm gonna stop it here. One of the coolest games I've ever played, and that's overall. It really is a different feeling. You're playing 4 or 5 tracks in a row, and you're really getting the feel for doing a concert, going from track to track to track. I think you saw there on the stage, there's a track listing by a feet. You can look down to see what the next track is. Very convincing. You could argue maybe a bit cartoonish, but that's where the state of the art is at. I wonder what we'll be able to do if we can make these people look like actual real people. How convincing that would be. Cool, that's it for now. Cheers.